Hey Reddit, which conspiracy theory is so believable that it might be true? That your phone's microphone is constantly hot and it's listening for keywords to target advertising. Most glaring instance where this happened to me was when I walked into a colleague's office. He had just gotten a standing desk, but one that goes on top of his existing desk rather than a standalone model. That's important to note. I said, "Nice standing desk, when did you get that?" "Thanks, just today," he replied. That was literally all that was said about the desk. We talked about work-related stuff, and as I walked out and checked my phone, there was an ad on Facebook for that exact model of standing desk. I have never owned one, wanted one, or Googled one before. Yet there it was on my feed. Tinfoil hat be damned, they listen in. That there are hundreds of companies that operate tens of thousands of Reddit accounts each. They have been auto-regging these accounts for years, use scripts to auto-post and comment, and have humans that shift through all the accounts to make various comments to maintain these accounts. These companies have the ability to control and game their way to the front of Reddit. Huge brands use them, special interest groups use them, political parties use them. It's not a conspiracy, it's a real thing. The ballistic missile threat that was sent to Hawaiian cell phones saying, "Seek shelter, this is not a drill," that was later deemed a mistake, was a real missile that was intercepted before impact. Memes about the NSA and other spy programs are encouraged by the very agencies spying on us, to twist the idea into the absurd and to humanize their agents. Or make everyone paranoid for even asking questions about the surveillance state. Miley Cyrus's crazy streak was all a carefully planned marketing scheme to get her solidified as an A-list celebrity. I believe it was done to make Disney completely cut ties with her and kill the image of Hannah Montana. It's worked too. Hannah Montana was quite possibly Disney's largest TV show ever, but I haven't seen anyone even mention it for over 4 years now, and despite Disney cashing in on old IPs, Aladdin, Kim Possible, Lion King etc., we have yet to even hear an unsubstantiated rumor regarding Hannah Montana. The Vatican holds horrible dark secrets and many answers to existential questions. And that Area 51 is a publicity stunt by the government to hide the real testing facility. The Vatican has many vaults literally stuffed with thousands of documents that no one but people in the Pope's circle have access to. Who knows what's in those? I'm willing to bet there are parts of the Bible/Christian history that will never see the light of day thanks to Emperor Constantine creating the first official canon of the Bible. The value of expensive art is just as a pseudo-currency for rich people to subtly buy drugs or other illicit things. Apparently, priceless art on mega yachts is under a big threat from champagne corks. I know it's used for tax write-offs. When someone auctions off an art piece for charity, they can write off based on the full appraisal value regardless of if it actually sells for that much or how much they bought it for. The development of the F-35 fighter jet is so over budget so the military can fund other top-secret projects without making a new line item on the budget. It's the only conspiracy theory I believe. $10,000 for a hammer. The government experiments on the mentally insane because no one will believe someone with that kind of medical history. I feel like people overlook the fact that the government actually did experiments on Americans and fucked at least one of them up so bad that he moved to the middle of the woods and started mailing bombs to people. The Phantom Cosmonaut Conspiracy. Pretty much, the short story is that Yuri Gagarin is not the first man to go to space but the first one to go and come back alive. It just seems like a USSR thing to do. The oil and coal industries invested heavily in killing off nuclear power as an attractive alternative. These days we have reactor designs many times safer than other methods of generating power, and the waste issue is something that could be fixed with sufficient investment. Snapchat worked with the FBI to popularize, and secretly test and improve, face recognition technology. We went from "wow" this is like magic to this is totally normal in a few years and there's no way that the technology isn't being by law enforcement. Have you read the terms and agreements of Snapchat? It's not that secret that most social media is selling your information, including the one we're using right now. That big bread paid toaster manufacturers to put in a setting that is too high so that people would burn their toast, meaning that they sell more bread. Yeah, good point. Why the hell do toasters go so damn high? Sometimes I really believe the rumor that Avril Lavigne died in 2003 and was replaced by her double. Other times I think it's complete BS. That Snowpiercer is the sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The one that I heard last year seems entirely possible. Adam Sandler makes movies for vacation spots for his group of friends. Can't find the original way someone put it, but that is close enough. LOL. LOL. People on movie crews do this all the time. Sometimes they'll add a scene in a different country just to get a trip out of it. That Russians are behind the anti-vax movement as a way to thin the herd immunity for the next generation of Americans. Nuclear war is old news. The next big threat will be biological. Fuck, anti-vaccination has infected all of the West. This has to be one of the better Russian conspiracies I've heard. The reason Disney came out with a movie called Frozen was so that when you Googled Disney Frozen you would get information about the movie and not websites talking about Walt Disney's body being frozen. PETA is controlled opposition run by the meat industry designed to make animal rights activists look bad. That'd make sense. I mean, some of the stuff they say is just crazy. LOL. I don't really have a hypothesis as to why they would do it, but there's absolutely no way you could look me dead in the eyes and tell me that the government threw Osama bin Laden's corpse into the ocean without a tickle in the back of your mind about how ludicrously facetious that sounds. I'm not a conspiracy nut at all, and, like I said, I don't have a solid reason as to why, but as a thinking human being I just cannot bring myself to believe that. Chemicals in frogs are turning the water gay.